Tesla, Nvidia, and Microsoft are flashing major warning signals. The charts are revealing critical technical developments that could reshape their trends. Tesla is at a make-or-break level, Nvidia is showing bearish momentum, and Microsoft's recent technical crosses are raising concerns. Are these stocks on the verge of a major downturn, or this is just a shakeout before the next big move? Let's dive into these key signals, support levels, and what to watch next. By the way, our community is growing at an incredible pace. Over 2,000 new members joined us just last week. Thank you for your trust and support. Your engagement motivates us to deliver even sharper market insights every day. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and stay ahead of the trends. Let's move on to Tesla, to the most concerning signal. We've been tracking it since the end of January, and right now what we are seeing is quite concerning. So what happened at the beginning of February? Tesla recorded a MACD bearish cross on the weekly frame, and this cross has been expanding since then. What we can see about this cross is that it is of a record magnitude. It has never been bigger before, and if we look at the MACD histogram, we are seeing that this is already at a record level. Almost the same one was in February 2022, when it was a bottom of the initial move for Tesla. Right now, it looks like it is going lower and it has some room down there. Let's see how it ends. This was the original call on February 1st, and we ran statistics around the cross. There were 20 of them before, ranging from 25 to 67% losses following the crosses, and the average of them was 44% decline. So if we look for 44 of the top, it would be around 260, 270. That's the minimum that we are expecting right now. Okay, so now let's move on to the candles. What we are seeing here, Tesla today technically confirmed a break below the 100 days moving average, which is the purple line here, and on the 5-day candles, it also formed a bearish continuation one, breaking below the major support. Another concern that is flashing here is the potential monthly closure for Tesla. A closure like this, below this red line, below the low of December, it will be a confirmation of reversal on the monthly frame, which is huge. If we look at the 2 months frame, which is also closing on February in 3 days, it looks like it's gonna be a bearish harami, which would require confirmation either way, and the chances for it are significant. Now let's have a look at the Tesla Elliott waves. This is the chart that we shared with our subscribers back at the end of January. So far, we are not changing it. All elements remain the same. We are seeing that Tesla is potentially in the blue rectangle, maybe forming an ABC correction. Possibly. This is a lucky path. However, if it moves lower here, we will be considering a bigger impulse being developed. And if we look at the bigger frame, bigger chart, all-time chart, this is our perspective. And honestly, this is probably not our perspective. This is the perspective. This is a textbook case. This is an excerpt from a beautiful book by Prechter, who explained in details Elliott waves and how to do analysis. So this is the possible bigger correction that Tesla is making right now. You can see wave A here. We can clearly see wave B. being corrective, and now Tesla is forming potentially an impulse down here, wave C. If it makes it like this, it will be just a textbook case. And I would like to emphasize this 2299.29 is a point of no return. So breaking below this level, Tesla will invalidate the potential impulsive structure of a bigger degree, and we would be expecting it to land somewhere in this rectangle, in the red rectangle. That's the perspective for Tesla. Now let's move on to Nvidia, another darling. Nvidia has been bearish recently, and on Friday it confirmed a top by making a tower top and confirming multiple bearish candles here, and it elevated the bearish odds today by breaking below the 150 days moving average. Now the 200 days, the red line, is the next support. Let's see if it holds. This is a big question right now, particularly if we look at the bigger frames, which is also shooting for a tower top, and it will be closing tomorrow, the 3-day frame. And then interesting development here on the monthly. Right now, Tesla is bearish on the monthly after January's closure. Technically, this was the January's candle confirmed the reversal on bearish engulfing in December, and right now it is trying to negate it. Let's see how it holds in the next 3 days. If it moves below the midpoint of the red candle, it will be a bearish formation. If it turns red, well, it will be a disaster. Now let's have a look at our chart. We haven't done update for a month. This was the chart that we shared with our readers and subscribers back in the end of December. We said that Nvidia was forming a diagonal, ending diagonal, and it looks like it needed one more higher high before moving down, and the loss would be about 40% of the top. That was our estimate at the time. What happened? Indeed, Nvidia moved higher in a corrective fashion, completed the diagonal on January 7, and since then it has been falling. So far, it formed potentially at the leading diagonal and the corrective wave up. Now we are looking for another move down. The target for this particular move after a break of the diagonal would be about $90. But this might not be the end of it. If we look at the technical developments, what is happening right now with Nvidia, it also had a 10-day bearish cross, which happened way back in December, and we were talking about it since. So far, these crosses are fairly rare, and this of a super record magnitude, I would say. There is not even close anything else. So the chances for Nvidia to lose up to 20, 50, or 80% are fairly significant. I would say the midpoint is about 50, and this would be the most probable target at the moment. But another, I'd like to emphasize, the key would be a closure of the months. February's closure will define its path for the next couple of months, if not quarters. That's the perspective for Nvidia, and once we are here, with semiconductors, let's talk about TSM. TSM completed an ending diagonal way back in January, and we shared this chart with our subscribers. Well, we said that after a diagonal, we are expecting it to move towards this blue target, and ideally it should return to 133, which would be a huge loss of the top, it will be about 40%. By the way, it will be aligned with Nvidia if it happens. And so far, TSM is moving down. All right, that's about semiconductors. Let's move on to Microsoft. It has too many interesting and important technical signals to discuss. First of all, I would like to say that today's closure was strong bearish, and we have all chances to see Microsoft exploring lower lows. And if we look at the 5-day frame, which also closed today, it is strong bearish, moving down. 8-day frame closed with bearish candles, and it flipped 8 by 20 EMA bearish cross. The monthly is not looking good, especially after the December's gravestone doji, which was typical and normal. So the closure at this level, about 400, would be a confirmation of reversal on the monthly frame. And if you look at the 2-month chart, it will be a bearish engulfing. So no surprises here. Microsoft is slowly moving towards very bearish closure at the end of February. And I would like to emphasize back to the daily frame here. So we're gonna have probably tomorrow, Microsoft will form a strong death cross, 50 over 200 days moving average, with the chances to make 50 over 100 in the next couple of days, this week or next week. That would be another significant technical development. Speaking about the long-term Microsoft chart, this is something that we decided, we shared at the beginning of October, and we were saying that there are two possibilities here. Either Microsoft completed the wave 1 of some degree with the bottom in December 2022, or this is a super cycle wave 1. In both cases, Microsoft is facing a significant decline, and these are the targets. The red one for the wave 2, assuming this is the wave 1 of some degree, and for super cycle it will be somewhere between 180 and 235. And I'd like to say that these are the most typical retrace levels for wave 2, between 50 and 62% using Fibonacci levels. And in our case, the best case scenario would be decline about 27% of the top, and midpoint about 42, and the worst case scenario we're expecting about 62%. Let's see how Microsoft develops and what kind of wave it makes so that we can evaluate it closely. And this is our current short-term chart. We are seeing possible impulsive wave started in July, and after that Microsoft developed a corrective wave B or 2 as a WXY or zigzag, and now it potentially forming an impulse of a bigger degree. Potentially. Now we need to see how the next wave develops. So this could be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So obviously this is incorrect, and they need to switch to a different degree. So this is the possibility right now, and this would be the target for wave 3, the most typical one. And the final chart here is a technical that we also discussed back in October when Microsoft formed a bearish cross on the monthly frame. This is not a simple and very rare cross, and last time it happened in year 2022, and it led to a decline of about 40%, about 40% loss for Microsoft. If this the current cross brings the same amount of losses, then we would be looking for 285 approximately. And the Microsoft might find support at its 100 months moving average. That's an estimate. Now you can see multiple estimates. They're all leading towards the same or similar targets. That's the perspective right now. Well, that's it for today's analysis. Tesla, Nvidia, and Microsoft are all at key inflection points, and the coming days could define their next big move. Particularly, I'm talking about the monthly closure. Stay tuned as we track these developments in real time. Like, share, and subscribe to stay ahead of the market. Join us for daily insights. We share our ideas on Twitter, Telegram, and Reddit. We are all investing angles on all of them. Exclusive markets insights and premium analysis can be viewed at investingangles.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy trading.